Fullen, can I shake your hand?
I'll shake your hand.
Hey, so let me ask you this question. Can
Yes,
I ask
sir.
you one question?
No, sir. I'm done. I'm trying to greet the residents.
How do you feel about people?
Let go of my hand. Let go of my hand, dude.
It's actually a private event. It's a private facility.
Yeah, but this was a public event.
Yeah, but I've had multiple customers come and tell me that offends them. But it's a family establishment. We have children.
I get it, that's why I was back here for the public
I
event.
understand, but the event's over, so I was asking you to leave.
Benjamin Franklin was one of the founding fathers of this country, the United States of America. He once said, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." And I know there's been a lot of stuff on the internet lately of people who are upset and been protesting about what happened in Galveston County under Sheriff Jimmy Fullen. But here's the thing. The majority of the residents in the community willingly gave up their liberty, and then afterwards they thanked the sheriff and cheered him on and asked him to take more of their liberty from them. It's absolutely disgusting, folks. I'm going to show you right here what I'm talking about.
There's a lot of talk or a lot of noise about constitutional rights being stomped on by the Gestapo and such as that. Don't read too much into that. Yeah, did we give up some rights for those 2 or 3 days so that we could be safe and so everybody else could be safe? Of course we did. And it was a great deal. I'd do it again tomorrow.
Did you call GLO with that shirt on? And they talked to you with that shirt on?
What does it matter? What does it matter what shirt I got on, sir? If you don't like my shirt, you don't like freedom of speech. And that's the problem.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we're taking a look at the PR stunt arranged by Galveston County Sheriff Jimmy Fullen that took place on June 3rd, 2025 at Jose's Cantina on Boulevard Island, where he invited his loyal friends, local business owners, and bootlickers to shower him with praise for acting like a dictator. This wasn't about public safety, it was about propaganda. The crowd clapped along as he bragged about violating people's rights and overstepping his authority. These people just didn't cheer him on. They thanked him and worshiped him for stripping away their freedoms, even letting hundreds of officers take over their homes and sleep in their homes for days, like the Third Amendment doesn't even exist. The sad part? These are the same types of people who used to line up to drink toxic water because the government told them it was good for their teeth. These are the same people who shamed us and anyone else who refused to inject poison into their bodies a few years ago, all in the name of so-called safety. People with this kind of blind, obedient mentality are exactly why we're in the shape that we're in today. They never ask questions, they never push back, and they let the government grow completely out of control. They are like sheep being led to the slaughter. If you believe in freedom, you're going to want to stick around. Like the video, share it with others, and try not to get nauseous watching these people praise tyranny like it's something to celebrate.
My name is Jimmy Fullen. I'm your Galveston County Sheriff. And thank you, I appreciate that. I took the initiative to call this meeting because I felt like you deserve to know exactly what we did, why we did what we did, and how it turned out. So I'd like to go over a few ground rules. We're going to be as honest with you as we can. We're not going to discuss any pending cases that are criminal up here. We're not going to be the judge and the jury up here on the stage. That's for the courts to figure out later. There will be a answering question series later on after we get through speaking, giving you some stat numbers and some other details. We'd like to keep it civil. We're certainly going to keep it civil. We ask everybody else does. We've had town hall meetings in the past over Beach Weekend, and it got kind of hostile. So we want to kind of keep it on a lower tone. But anyway, with that being said, as y'all can remember, some of y'all, during the last 2 years during campaign trail, You had candidates telling you what they were going to do and what they weren't going to do. You had previous administration telling you what they couldn't do on the beach, and you had somebody telling you what they could do on the beach with a proper plan that's approved by GLO. And that was me. I promised y'all that I was going to come over here and we were going to, in essence, shut Jeep Weekend down or bring it down to a minimum. I think we effectively did that thanks to the GLO, thanks to the beach access plan for the Galveston County and the commissioners voting that in right before Jeep Weekend. Thank God for social media. We were able to get out early ahead of it, a couple of months in advance, and pushed it out on social media what we were going to be doing. We didn't hide anything. Thank God that Texas still allows checkpoints. That really helped us out a lot. And thank God for emergency service districts. Thank God for DPS, Houston Police Department, Harris County Sheriff's Office. They all came together when we asked, and we ended up with 526 officers on this peninsula for Jeep Weekend. Some of y'all might have been, heard me speak in the past. When I tell you I have a unique connection to Bolivar, I worked here in the late 80s in the city of Crystal Beach before they just incorporated it. So I do have Crystal Beach and Bolivar kind of close to my heart. And once I made that commitment that I was going to make sure we turn this community back over to y'all, I stuck to that. And we're going to continue sticking with that, whether it's Jeep Weekend, whether it's Memorial Day, 4th of July. Will we have the manpower and the resources we have every given weekend? Absolutely not. Are we going to be monitoring social media to see that y'all might have things coming in that we really don't, that we want to monitor and closely watch? Yes, we are. And if we do so, we got the commitment from the Commissioner's Court to add a little bit of overtime if we need to get extra patrol deputies over here to take care of any problems y'all may have. Everybody likes to talk about stats. I like stats too. But I like that big zero by homicides, by shootings, by stabbings, by sexual assaults, by kidnappings. That's what I like seeing zeros. To me, that made the whole thing a success. Whether somebody was inconvenienced because they couldn't go to the beach like they wanted to, or they couldn't drive something on the beach they wanted to, I hate saying it like this, but it really doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, it's my job as your elected sheriff to protect you and your interests on this Bolivar Peninsula, and I feel that's exactly what we did. So, no apologies for any other thing. I just want to make sure y'all understand those zeros mean the world to me, and they should mean the world to you, that we don't have the violent crime on the Bolivar Peninsula like we've had in the past. And we plan on keeping that momentum going for the near future.
So according to Jimmy Fullen's logic, it's okay to put hundreds of cops in 1 square mile, set up a roadblock, pull over every car and search it, and just set up a concentration camp and illegal checkpoints just to lower the crime level. Well, that's insane. I don't agree with that. What's he going to do? Turn the whole United States of America into a concentration camp and a prison state just to lower the crime rate? Unbelievable. And then these people cheer and clap and thank him for it.
Bolivar residents truly opened their hearts and their doors to the deputies and the officers that came down and worked. 126 houses, some 600 something beds, to where these officers were allowed to stay here on this peninsula. In the event that something major happened, we have them within seconds instead of having to wait for hours to get them back over here. So I want to applaud y'all, the residents. If one of y'all work with it, one of the residents to happen. But, yes. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Why would you need a permit if it's underneath your constitutional right to assemble?
According to the beach access plan from the GLO and from the county, if you're going to have a large mass gathering of 250 or more people, you have to have a permit through the county.
You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. The sheriff himself, the one who swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, said that according to GLO and the beach access plan, you have to have a permit to have a large assembly. Unbelievable.
All the law, statutory. If you don't like the law, get your congressman to change it. That's the law.
What about possibly releasing the body cams? I've been getting a lot of reports that lawyer numbers say there wasn't any violence on the island. It sounds like there's a lot of violence committed by officers. One in particular, hey.
Sir, if you have a specific incident you're speaking of, by all means put in your public information request and we'll fulfill that.
I've got him in, and
okay.
there's officers that were destroying phones, and just let people see what happened. That way there's no side back and forth. Let's just see the truth.
Certain procedures, you know them very well, submit your open records request and we'll fulfill that request.
Yeah, you got everything locked up for 90 days because of the courts.
Okay, well, again, I'm not finding any cases here, so I'll spread that all along. So, other questions? Yes, sir.
I just think you need to hear this. There's a lot of talk or a lot of noise about constitutional rights being stomped on by the Gestapo and such as that. Don't read too much into that. Yeah, did we give up some rights for those 2 or 3 days so that we could be safe and so everybody else could be safe? Of course we did. And it was a great deal. I'd do it again tomorrow. When I first saw your
I will say this, I'm a firm believer in everybody's rights. We did everything, we've exhausted every means before we got to that point for that weekend.
So, back to the GLO part. I actually contacted the GLO prior to this transpiring. They said that they gave y'all permission only for a DOT one-way transportation thing and all that, but they assured me that the beach itself was not going to be shut down to anybody wanting to actually enjoy the beach. How do you expect anybody to actually be able to get to the beach if you have every freaking road closed down and all that to be able to get to the beach and all that?
I'll let the sheriff answer that.
Hey, Sheriff, do you mind? Did you call GLO with that shirt on? And they talked to you with that shirt on?
What does it matter? What does it matter what shirt I got on, sir? If you don't like my shirt, you don't like freedom of speech. And that's the problem, because we're going to go back and everything. If y'all think that...
May I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. So, his question was, how do we expect people to get down to the beach if we had all the access points blocked, all the entrances to the subdivision blocked? How many people in this room took advantage of our placard that says resident? Okay, that's it.
Wait, but these are county roads.
Okay, it doesn't matter. If you were a resident, you got to come in. If you wanted to go on the beach, you were able to walk on the beach and go enjoy yourself. If you were a vehicle, you were allowed to come on the beach and go one way, 6.2 miles in X Zone Stingray. If you went to the west of the event zone, you got to go out there. If you had a beach sticker permit, you could go on the east side of Stingray Road as long as you had a beach sticker permit. So there was nobody that was restricted access.
Well, but if you cannot get to the beach because you can't access any of the access roads to actually enjoy it.
We had them opened up. The GLO and Textile approved our entry and our exit.
Okay, and then my next question.
Okay, next question.
Hang on,
I'll answer the question. I'm going to the next question.
Two-part.
Yes, sir.
Earlier, I'm sorry, I'm going way back. Yes, sir.
They censor the real questions because they hate the Constitution. This guy's a bootless over here because he doesn't like freedom of speech. Hey, you can if he ain't gonna let me speak and ask my questions.
That's enough.
You can That's enough from you. Karen.
Were the checkpoint and the
This guy, he loves the Constitution.
and I don't know how to say this.
He's getting mad.
Zero tolerance type enforcement. Some people have been over 6, 7, 8 times. I mean, after a while, when you're at a client, for God's sake, you're not a problem with the department. Are we going to adjust that? That was the part where I saw.
And that's where we got a lot of complaints, and rightfully so. But you got to understand,
Don't touch me.
the history of this event, and these DPS troopers that came in and they were briefed on what we were looking for and what not, and that's what they're that detail, it was a 25-person detail coming from down in the valley, and their detail was to work traffic on the freeway. I'm sorry that people got stopped, I'm sorry people had expired license plates, people didn't have their seatbelts on. Hopefully, after that it took effect. Are we planning on continuing that next year? It all depends on what we see on social media. If we see it's going to be another huge event, or we fear it might be, we'll bring those same troops back down here and do it again. Again, it's 1 week in a month, 1 week in a year. if we have to continue for the next couple of years in this pattern to try to tone it down to where we can get some decent folks back on this island that want to spend money and have a good time and bring their families and rent houses, absolutely, that's what we want to do. I doubt very seriously I'll ever get that kind of manpower back. I think I can get half of that and, you know, use them effectively on the freeway if we need to. But again, that's one of the only biggest complaints we got with the local residents of being stopped. From my understanding, a lot of them were issued warnings, they weren't issued citations, unless somebody can tell me differently.
I do. Wasn't that?
So, yes.
This is freedom of speech. This is freedom of speech. You either enjoy your constitutional rights or you don't. Which one is it?
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Hold on just a second.
Go educate yourself and everything before you
Yes, the checkpoint is
out.
specific to traffic safety. And if you look at years past, which is on this paper, we had a lot of, actually,
You're obviously
I like to look here like the top 5 arrests for 2025. If you look at the top 5 arrests
the First
for
Amendment.
2022 and 2024, all top 5 of those were for the most
Go ahead and go
part
outside.
traffic related. No driver's license, no insurance, no seatbelts, DWI, things like that. And because that we saw such a like an impact in the safety on the roadways and things like that, that was why the driver's license checkpoint was implemented for the safety on our roadways.
Let's see if our women for GCSOs are going to follow.
Right, yes. DL's only, driver's license checkpoint.
We'll see if one of these deputies are going to do their job and give this guy an assault charge.
How the law enforcement perspective of that, they come up to the checkpoint.
You should shut up.
And they would say, hey,
go back in your seat.
And if they have it, they're able to proceed as long as there was nothing else that was kind of glaring to them, like they were able to establish probable cause, whether or not they didn't have a front license plate, their sticker was expired, or anything else like that. But the intent was the driver's license to identify them if they had a driver's license. If they saw in plain view, or that there was narcotics inside the car, or smelled narcotics, or things like that, they were shifted to an enforcement area, and then that's when they were picked up by another deputy that was out there, and they established either they gave this person a citation, they didn't go to the county jail, then they needed their vehicle searched because they had probable cause to search it, and things like that. So all the guns you saw were based off of probable cause searches at the driver's license check.
Let me add something real quick, and then I'm going to sit down and shut back up. I saw a lot of things, a lot of Facebook attorneys all over the place saying they can't arrest you for that, they can't arrest you for that, they can arrest you for damn near anything except for speeding and open container. Everything else you can be arrested for. Period. Boom. End of story.
Right. Got time for 2 more questions. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for coming out tonight.
One more question,
Thank y'all
Sheriff.
so much for being civil.
Hey, one more question, Sheriff. One more question.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Look at these bootlickers. Holy shit. Oh, he's such a hero. He's such a hero. He's such a hero.
That's my problem. I did not have a car zooming up.
Thank you, sir.
Gun on my neck.
Let him go.
So, y'all did.
Thank you. Y'all did amazing.
That traffic point.
Thank you.
Hey, Sheriff Fullen.
You are?
Sheriff Fullen. Notice he ignored Sheriff Fullen, can I shake your hand?
I'll shake your hand.
Hey, so let me ask you this question. Can
Yes,
I ask
sir.
you one question?
No, sir. I'm done. I'm trying to greet the residents.
How do you feel about people?
They go in my hand. They go in my hand, dude.
He was holding on to mine, squeezing the shit out of mine.
Thank you.
I thought he was just having a good fun handshake there. Look at that. You see that, folks? Okay?
Thank you.
Come on, Matthew. You know me better than that.
chill, man.
Okay? You've had many dealings with me, Matthew. You know better. See how they try to set you up?
I remember that. Yes, sir. Yeah, so I
This guy wants to violate people's rights. He can't do his job and everything without doing that. And all these people up in here think that their rights and everything are more prominent in everything than everybody else's rights. You know.
Just who are you? What's your name? We don't act like that on Bolivar. So
no, y'all just think that y'all's rights supersedes the rights of everybody else.
That is not true.
That's exactly
Why don't you go to
true.
law school and come back and tell me that?
That's exactly what's true and what's going on here.
Take that shirt off. That's very offensive to my right.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. He doesn't want to answer the hard question.
I got a license plate and I followed the damn law. So what time is it? So all these people things like that.
Defame, fraud, patrol, protection.
It's out there, they're there forever. Thank y'all for everything. I think we'll see the first night. Thank you.
Hey Bruce, how are you?
Yeah.
I got injured, Bruce.
How'd you get in?
How many phones did you
Were you
smash
the one
over
that got
Jeep
your arm
weekend?
slammed into a door? Because you're tired?
What's that now, guys?
Are you the one that got your arm slammed into
Yeah.
down there in San Door?
Yeah, that was me. I like this guy. What's that, Bruce?
I shouldn't buy this. I need to know your thing.
People trying to record you, you go up their phone.
They don't like transparency. They don't like the truth at all.
Thank you so much. Max, you spend a lot of time on the peninsula?
Yeah, I spent a little time over here.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you.
What's going on, buddy?
How are you doing?
All right?
Yeah, doing good.
Hey, Matthew. You think you can give me a one-on-one interview with Sheriff Fullen like you hooked up Grizzly?
You know what, man? How many one-on-ones have I given you in my entire career? And now you want to do this to me now? Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Remember that next time.
Look, hey, I'm not disputing that you have not been professional and cordial to me before. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not trying to make you look bad in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, we're good.
I'm just wanting to ask some questions and everything that I think other people.
Call the office and we'll see what we can do.
Besides the citizens of Bolivar Peninsula.
Call the office,
That's it.
draft your questions, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, that's all we want.
Okay, great.
We just want some one-on-one time to get some hard questions answered and everything.
Type them up, send it to us. We'll answer them as good as we can.
Okay, that's all we're asking for.
You got the email, right?
Which one? What is
His email. It's online. You just send it up, and we'll answer all the questions you need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, but man, like I said, no. I'm not saying you ain't never.
We got a good relationship.
Right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
For the most part, you have always been, pretty professional with me and everything. And we've had talks when things were, whatever. And, we worked it out. We got it figured out.
We're good.
Okay.
Personally, I thought it was a great weekend at this point. I agree wholeheartedly.
So are we ever going to get hey, Bruce, did what you ever get phones back? Hey, are we ever going to get Harvey's phones back to him?
I don't know nothing about Harvey's phone. I don't even know who Harvey Freebird
Man,
is.
he was freaking down there at the checkpoint when he was arrested.
I was all over this
Y'all stole his
peninsula.
phones. That was a Caldwell move, man. That was a Caldwell move. You know how many phones are at the bottom of Galveston Bay right now and everything, dude? And
There's a lot of Galveston Bay. I lost numerous in Galveston Bay.
Yeah. Well, it's because he likes to take them and chunk them off in the water and everything, or whatever he does with them.
I've lost a bunch in Galveston Bay.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, are y'all ever going to release Harvey's
I'll be up to
phone?
the DA's office and submit his evidence.
But
for
he
sure.
didn't do nothing wrong.
Again, up to the DA's office.
Man, see, this is what I'm saying. You're a captain, man.
The body cam so people can see how they were released.
Did y'all request it? Did y'all request it? Yeah.
I've got plenty of
Well,
requests
good.
in.
Then I mean, they have to fulfill
They
it.
can release them.
I mean, they'll release them.
Hey, and I was simple assaulted by a guy. Do you want to do your job?
You're what?
I was assaulted by a gentleman.
You're assaulted.
Yeah. Do y'all want to do y'all's job? Take care of that?
Assaulted here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see anything. I saw you the whole time I was watching it.
Some dude came and he assaulted me. Are y'all?
Do you have it on video?
I probably do. Yeah.
Can we have your camera?
I'm sure I probably do.
The customers that their shirt offends you, that their shirt offends them, some actually.
My shirt offends them. Is this not the First Amendment?
It's actually a private event. It's a private facility.
Yeah, but this was a public event.
Yeah, but I've had multiple customers come and tell me that offends them. Really, it's a family establishment. We have children.
I get it, and that's why I was back here for the public
I
event.
understand, but the event's over, so I was asking you to leave.
Okay, that's
Event's over.
event's over. Hey.
Static too, because we're buffering real bad.
Hey, they're asking for me to leave because my shirt's offensive. So it's a private establishment, but even though it's a public
being
event,
used for a public meeting.
It's quote unquote
Being used for a
over
public
now.
Manager, the owner just has
It-
someone
it-
to find.
Then they shouldn't have public meetings here.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
She's asking y'all to leave.
Me.
She'll ask you to
So,
Do you want both of them to leave, or is it just him?
That's fine.
You want him to leave, or
how
just?
about if I go to the bathroom and turn it inside out? Will that make you feel better?
Me and y'all for a public meeting. That's fine.
Yes, sir.
So, who's the owner?
Me.
That's you?
I'm the
Yeah.
general manager.
Oh, general
Yeah,
manager.
but like
But
I
not
said,
the
we
owner.
have the owner's not here right now.
Daughter of the owner.
No.
So,
I just said the problem is your shirt.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you can go change it, flip it over, like you can do whatever you like. Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah.
but you understand that this is freedom of speech, right?
Yes, of course I do
Okay.
understand that, sir. But like I said, once I get complaints from my customers regarding your shirt offending them, then that's when I would ask you to leave. Like I said, it is a family restaurant. We do have children here
I get that,
and
man.
stuff like that, and they're
I
everywhere.
stay back here with all the,
Yeah. I understand,
adults
sir.
and everything.
But
for
like
the
I said,
public,
it's
meeting that y'all gave
Yeah.
and everything.
I know, I
you know?
understand.
I'm trying to.
so I
you
would
know,
like to. I mean, you can do that or you can leave,
So-
whichever one you would like to do. Yeah.
Look, I don't need your input, man. I was taking care of it with her. She said I can go turn it inside out.
How are you? We're here with our state representative, Terry Leah Wilson, and her husband, Dave. And what's so amazing is this is her district, but she also lives in Galveston on the beach.
I know, it's so good to be home. We just got home last night to hear the waves rather than gavels banging and ringers.
So, Terry, what are your thoughts on what happened here the last hour and a half?
Good.